Anyone wishing to establish schools for freemen in Oklahoma after the Civil War faced serious challenges because of Indian Territory's unusual status in the United States. In addition to the common problems of white oppression and lack of money, those who wanted to educate former slaves also faced the reality of different problems and reactions within each of the five tribes. In 1866, the United States government concluded new treaties the tribes, requiring that each recognize its former slaves as tribe members. The National Freedmen's Bureau, created by Congress in 1865, operated in Indian Territory for several months under the leadership of General John Sanborn, but ceased operation when the new treaties were negotiated. As a result, most of the effort to educate freemen organized within each tribe and differed from group to group. Among the five tribes, the Seminole most easily adjusted to post war circumstances, quickly assimilating their former slaves into the tribe. Of the other four groups, the Cherokee did the best job of educating their free men, at least at the primary level, maintaining 7 schools in 1872. However, not until 1890 did the Cherokee provide a high school for their former slaves. The Creek also provided a basic education, with 5 schools in existence by 1874. In 1881, the Creek Council gave freed men the task of operating a school near Muskogee. It opened in 1883 as Tullahassee Manual Labor School. The Creek Freedmen ran it with help from the American Baptist Home Missionary Society. Also, in 1883, these two groups established a second institution known as Evangel School on the old Union Agency grounds in Muskogee. The Choctaw failed to provide education for former slaves directly, but promoted schools through various missionary organizations using federal funds. The freedmen supplied the building, and the missionary groups provided the teacher and supplies. The first of these schools, run by Baptist Missionary Board, opened a boggy depot in 1874. The building later burned. Eventually, several high schools, such as Tuscaloosa Academy in Tallahena and Oak Hill Mission near the Red River, were established in this way, but they did not last past the 1890s. The Chickasaw did not provide any support for schools for their former slaves, and the freedmen proved unable to meet the needs themselves. It was true throughout the South. Most of the schools for freedmen in Indian territories were small, poorly built, and lacking in equipment. But the people involved worked diligently and provided basic literacy skills to the former slaves. These efforts provided a firm foundation for the future growth of literacy and education among the freedmen of Oklahoma. Black Indians are Native American people, defined as Native American due to being affiliated with Native American communities and being culturally Native American, who also have significant African American heritage. Historically, certain Native American tribes have had close relations with African Americans, especially in regions where slavery was prevalent or where free people of color have historically resided. Members of the five civilized tribes participated in holding enslaved African Americans in the Southeast, and some enslaved or formerly enslaved people migrated with them to the West on the Trails of Tears in 1830, and later during the period of Indian removal. In controversial actions since the late 20th century, the Cherokee, Creek, Seminole nations tightened their rules for members and at times excluded freedmen who did not have at least one ancestor listed as Native American on the early 20th century Dawes Rolls. This exclusion was later appealed in the courts, both because of the treaty conditions and, in some cases, because of possible inaccuracies in some of the rolls. The Chickasaw Nation never extended citizenship to Chickasaw freedmen. Now, we're going to take this a little bit of a step further, right? They have a database directly out there, which I guess you could say has collected information over time from some of the paperwork or information that they were able to find. And then you have this website that they put together. So you see some of the names here. You got one person, female, age 35, by the name of Delilah, right? The ship name, I guess that was the ship that they came off of, was called Candace. Departure 1823, 11/17. Arrival date 1823, right? Uh, what is that? Embarkation port is Alexandria. Disembarkation port, New Orleans. Fate unknown after arrival in New Orleans, right? Enslaver, William Early. And then it has sources directly on the side. And they have more names down here. They have a Patrick Henry, 30 male. They have a John Hanson, 26, and they also give you racial descriptors, right? Patrick Henry, dark brown. John Hanson, copper. And I went over these definitions before of copper or copper color individuals. Caesar Brown, black, male. Tobias Hanson, copper. Edward Brown, brown. Richard Chapman, brown. John Pleasance, black. Jack Jacob, as you know, question marks. Brown, Molly, black, female, 18. Isabella Sanders, 29, black, female. Sandy Sanders, 9, male, black. George Sanders, age 8, black, male. Martha Sanders, 6, female, black. Leland Sanders, 4, female, black. So then we'll continue down. It says Sanders William. Oh, sorry. Uh, William Henry Sanders, 2, age 2, male, black. Louisa Sanders, 0, female, probably an infant, black. Millie Gray, 40, female, black. Becky Gladden, age 40, female, yellow. Minty Parson, 45, female, black. Okay. Yellow probably meant that she was very light. That's probably what that was. Minty Parson, 45, female, black. You had Ann Parson, 17, female, black. Charlotte Parson, 16, female, black. Uh, Lindsay Parsons, 20, male, black. Levin Parsons, 14, male, black. George Ellis, 16, male, black. Stephen Lawn, 10, male, black. Handy, age 5, male, black. Marianne Parker, 15, female, black. Eliza Johnson, 16, female, black. Fanny Pod, age 45, female, black. Zachariah Pod, 8, male, black. Jacob Pod, 5, male, black. Asbury Pod, age 3, male, black. Fanny Pod, age 0, infant, female, black. And again, you can clearly see that they also have ship names as well, right? Candace, Pioneer, Alexandria, uh, Uncas. What else they got? They got Lancet. Then they also tell you again where they're coming from: embarkment port, Alexandria. Pretty much everybody is from Alexandria, right? And then you have New Orleans straight down, and everybody is arriving, and the fate is pretty much unknown. And then they also have the enslavers on the side, such as William Early, James Scott, N.C. Young, James Scott again, N.C., Francis Jones, or Maria H. Turpin. So I guess you had two different handlers, owners for this one person. You got John Whedon. I'm thinking about the director. You got Robert N. Henson. Then you got Nathaniel Bouch. Then again, you got Nathaniel Bouch, Robert N. Henson. Then you got several others directly down here. And again, this is only page 1. I put it on, I think, about 200, or either anywhere from 1 to 100 or 1 to 200, I think it was. And they have several pages. They got 1,570 pages up here, depending on how it is that you have the pages set. So again, this is days worth of information. That is days, months, or weeks worth of information that it would take somebody to actually sift through and to try to put together a potentially a family tree for some people, or maybe for Black people out there to try to find out, a little bit of their own history and whatnot. So, again, I'm just throwing this directly in the video because it has to do with, roots. It has to do with history. It has to do with knowing who specifically, you are as a person, and not the you that you think that you are, but your history, your family, where it is that they came from, the land that you may have that you may not know about, the tribe that you may belong to that you might not know about as well. So, again, hopefully, if people made it this far in the video, you like the video, you like, some of the information that was directly up there, and maybe even you yourself may have some information to put directly down in the comment section to inform people about and to further educate people as well. But anyways, if you like this video, let me know by hitting the like button and leaving a comment. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.